Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning, parents. Nice to meet all of you. I'm Mr. Jeffrey Tan, year head of junior high. So it's a thank you for attending this briefing today. So before we start the briefing formal, just note that there will be a few sessions later on to engage all of you. The first briefing for today will mainly be an administrative one. It will cover the key tasks to complete before the first day of school. Okay, so before we start the briefing, we'll first invite our principal, Mr. Ang Hao Chu, to give a short address to all of you. Mr. Ang, please. Please.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good morning, parents and NJCNs. Welcome to National Junior College. This morning, I would like to say a few things regarding your education in National Junior College. I'm sure many of you are excited, perhaps a little bit anxious. My point is not to worry, because when you're in National Junior College, I can assure you that you'll be well taken care of. There are 3 points I would like to make today. Number one is what we stand for. I have said this many times, whether it is our open house, road shows, or when we engage students and parents, and many of our NJCNs will always remember, that is our school motto. Our school's motto is very, very important because it stands for what we believe our children, which means your children, in National Junior College will grow up to be. Our school's motto is service with honor. And we have deconstructed it, meaning that we have given more meaning to it, and to let you know what exactly service with honor means. Service with honor in National Junior College means to add value to the life of the students here and to add value to the lives of others who our students interact with. When I say add value to the student's life, what it means is that we want your children to grow, develop, learn, and be better than they already are. And how do they become better than they already are? And how do they therefore add value to their own lives? That is what we want to do here. Number two, when I say add value to the lives of others, we believe that we are not just individuals, we are members of the larger community. And when we are members of the larger community, we must therefore be able to, because we are in a position where we're able to help, we must fulfill that particular mission, that is to add value to the lives of others. Our students have done a lot of positive value in action programs. I'm very proud of them because this is what we stand for. Not just being academically sound, more importantly, being able to know themselves better, to live good lives, and most importantly, to be able to help others. So point number one, our school's motto, which all of us in National Junior College must live up to. Number two, the second point. In NJ, we believe in a healthy, positive teacher and student relationship. One of the key aspects, every time when I ask students from JH1 to JH4, they always say that they have a very good relationship with their teachers. And this is what we want to continue to emphasize, because good relationships help very much in the learning and growth of your children. We are a very small school in that sense, right? Small in the sense that at every level from JH1 to JH4, we have 200 students. And because we are small enough, we know each and every student very well. And we want to create the environment so that the relationships between our teachers and students will not only be a functioning one, it will also be a very positive and healthy one. Point number 3. We want your children, right, to be able to be emotionally resilient. Very important. I always say to NJCians, it is your emotions that will help you learn or not to learn. Right? Learning is not just cognitive. Learning involves a lot of emotions. So we emphasize a lot of emotional resilience in National Junior College. We want our children to be happy, to be able to learn. When they are happy, they are able to learn. So these are the 3 points I would want to make to you this morning. And I would like to thank all of you for your presence, and for your children, they will enjoy their 6 years in National Junior College. Recently, I went to this is a little story I would like to tell, a mattress shop somewhere in Tiong Bahru, because we needed a new mattress. And I met a student there. Despite wearing a mask, the student recognized me. She said, "Mr. Ang, right?" I said, "Yes." I didn't recognize her because she completely changed. And she said, "Oh, I'm a former student by a certain name. I wouldn't want to name her." And she was there interning for that particular mattress company. So she said one thing she remembered was that I asked them when they were in JH3 having the boarding program to write how they have grown emotionally as well as cognitively. I think these are the things that students remember. And I want students in NJCians, to have good memories, to reflect on the 6 years. Your children will be here for 6 years, and to find out more about themselves after the 6 years. So welcome again to National Junior College. Let me assure parents that your children will be well taken care of. Please do not worry. We know that children during the teenage years will have many challenges, and in particular, this period, many things that we can do, many things that we cannot do. So we will focus on what is important, right? And I've said earlier, the 3 points. Live by our motto, build good teacher-student relationships, and ensure that our students are emotionally resilient to be able to learn and grow. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Thank you. Jeffrey, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ang, for the address. So, welcome again to all of you to the NJC family. So your child with us will be experiencing a fulfilling 6 years, and the college will be here to help the child as well as to support our parents along the way. Okay. Okay, so before we start, just to introduce you to 2 key faces that you will see very often, and you will actually generally we are the 2 who actually contact the parents quite often in terms of using Parents Gateway or WhatsApp messages or emails. First is myself, Mr. Jeffrey Tan. Okay, I'm the HOD for Junior High Year Head. Okay, and also with Miss Mark. Miss Mark is the Assistant Year Head for Junior High 1 and Junior High 3. Okay, so you'll be hearing a lot from us during the field engagement sessions in upcoming January. Okay, as well as today. Okay. So before we start, just to let you know, if you have a question to pose, okay, in doing this briefing, you may actually type it in the YouTube comments, and my colleagues, they will also help to assist in answering you. If the questions are it's possible, if time allows, we will also address it live in the end. Okay. So college start time, general information. The college start time from weekday Mondays to Fridays. Okay, the college start time for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is 8 a.m. Okay, for Tuesday is 7:45. Okay, this is referring to the period time where the first lesson begins. Okay, the commences for the day. For Thursdays, it will be 9 a.m. Okay, so these are the first bullet point. For the second bullet point, which you see the word cafe. Okay, this is an acronym. Cafe in unique to our school stands for CCA for exposure. As you know, if you read the college website or you have attended our open house, you know that for NJC, we conduct the CCAs a bit differently. What we do is in term 1 and term 2, irregardless if your child is DSA or not, they will actually participate in performing arts CCA in one term and a sports CCA in another term. Okay, depending on the class, they could be doing the sports followed by performing arts or vice versa. Okay, so this is what CAFE CCA stands for. We don't post them to a permanent CCA from the start of the year, rather it's from term 3 onwards. Okay, so the first 2 terms will be from where they will actually trial the different CAFE CCAs. Okay, once again, CAFE stands for CCA for exposure. It's a trial for them. Okay, this is unique to our school. CAFE CCA days generally take place on Mondays and Fridays. Okay, it's expected to start around 3. Your child's lessons typically end around 2 to 2:30, and starts about 3 for CCAs. You end around between 4 to 5 p.m. Okay, depending on certain CCAs. For example, canoeing, when they take time to travel to an external facility, then there may be a bit more time in between. Okay, so for third language, and as spoken, some of you may be have signed up for third language, please arrange for lessons to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, once again, I do remember, except for the Malay special programs, right, which is on Wednesday only. For third language, please try to arrange. Okay, you should arrange the lessons to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays only. Okay, from our side, we have also spoken to the language center. For NJC students, we will arrange such that they also suit to our curriculum, that the lessons for third language should be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is also to suit to because Tuesday and Thursdays are meant for electives, right, for the college. Okay, these are also the days where your child will not have CCA on this day. This is to coordinate. Right, so this is the generic information. So in case you are overwhelmed, please not to worry. This video will be recorded, right? So you can still view it later on, okay? Or if you're like me, you can take a book and then you can start to take down some notes, okay? Or you can also ask your questions after this. Okay, once again, remember the video will be recorded. You can view it on YouTube later on. Okay, just an overview of the subjects taken in junior high 1. So if you have a second child, or if you have a child in the mainstream school, you may find that the naming of the subjects may be slightly different from us. Okay, so when you get your child's timetable on the first day of school, don't be surprised. How come it's different from, I used to see English, now I don't see English, right? I don't see things like social studies. Okay, so the way we name, this is an in-house curriculum, right? The way we name our subjects are a bit different. The first, you see language arts. If you see the first in the table, language arts basically covers English and literature. Okay, so this is how we name our modules: mathematics, science, integrated science, physical education, high mother tongue or mother tongue. Okay, CCE, which I think your child has been taken in primary school. Okay, module unique to us is drama and production. So your child actually is involved in drama production. They will actually have drama lessons every week. They will need to know how to act. They will need to know how to write the script. And pre-COVID, the kid, we were actually able to invite the parents to come down and view the child's production. It was a really great experience. Okay. Again, there'll be the boarding program. As you know, it's unique to us. Generally, if all goes well, then the kids have the boarding program in term 4 to give them time to assimilate to the school in the first 3 terms. Okay. Other subjects include geography, general arts program, which includes both music and art, thinking, history, okay, and governance and society. Okay, so not to worry, I will also talk more about these subjects and the list of topics covered in this subject later on. So for today, the main focus is mainly administrative to let you have a good feel about how our school run. Okay, and we'll cover more details in the welcome briefing on 10 January. Okay, so now administrative portion again, timeline. Do take note that for NJC, we follow the JC calendar. So if you go to the MOE website and you see that the term 1 week 1 is 4th January. So why is it that NJC has not started? Okay, NJC, we follow the JC calendar. So our first day of school is on 10th of January. Okay, so do take note, it's on the 10th of January. Okay, so that is our first day of school. right? Not 4th to 7th. Okay, even though if you see that in our calendar, when we put 10 January, we follow term 1, week 2, that's because we are following the nationwide MOE's calendar where MOE named 10 Jan as term 1, week 2. All right, so these are the things in the briefing slides is also in the document. All right, so first day of school, right, the reporting time is 7:30 a.m. at the hall. Okay, so do take note that this the orientation program for students, the traffic condition in the Bukit Timah area, as you know, there are quite a lot of schools around. Right beside us, there's RGPS. So the traffic condition in the Bukit Timah area can be quite heavy. All right, so do try to come a bit earlier, maybe about 7 a.m., 7:15. Maybe for the first day of school, just to have a feel of the traveling time or the amount of waiting time in the jam, all right, to get to school in time. Okay. For your child, right? So first, to address the student details for your child, they have to be in NJC school uniform. Okay. I will tell you where to buy later or how to buy. School uniform, if you are unable to procure the school uniform, then do not worry. You can wear your primary school uniform. Okay, so we have kids doing that as well. Okay, so maybe due to a lack of sizes, the supplier is unable to provide the size in time. Please feel free to wear the primary school uniform. Okay, or PE attire. Okay, so ask your child not to worry or be anxious if they didn't have the school uniform in time. Okay, so it's really not an issue. So what does your child bring? Okay, photo identification document, the visiting card, PE attire, okay, because they may be running around during orientation, as you know. They may be doing some games, doing dance, singing songs, and they will need a PE attire, okay, to change into primary school PE attire or NJC PE attire, both are fine. Water bottle, definitely. 2B pencil and eraser. This because they may be doing filling in some forms, paper data form and such. Okay. For parents, do take note that on the first day of school, please, okay, this is an MOE requirement. Do not alight and walk your child into the hall or whatever. Okay, so you are supposed to drop off the child and you need to exit the school compound. Okay, there will be an opportunity for the parents to come into school and engage the student and the teachers later on, which I will talk about it. Okay, so just take note, for the first day of school, we seek your understanding. Okay, just alight your child. Okay, if your child is coming by public transport, even better. The parents should not be in the school compound. Okay, due to safety management measures. So we seek your understanding. Okay. So on the first day of school again, this is with regard to parents. We will be conducting another briefing. Okay, so this briefing, differing from today, will cover more in depth of certain topics. For example, how the school does the safety management measures. Okay, there will be a talk by PACT. PACT will be, basically our parent support group or our parent action group. Okay, where the parents, the head of the PACT will actually also come and have a chat with you to encourage you to join the PACT. Okay, HOD PECCA will also come in and she will talk about the CCA and cafe selection. Okay, cafe selection. So once again, for those who maybe missed the acronym later on, cafe stands for CCA for exposure. Term 1, Term 2. Okay, we will talk about the timeline, what are the CCAs you are looking out for, what are the CCAs you are selected, and what's the schedule like, before we again give time for Q&A. Okay, so do note that will differ from today's briefing, which will be an administrative one. Okay, the third engagement session, so today's the first, second is the welcome briefing on 10 Jan, the third will be 14 January. So this will be a more informal setting, right? This will be called parent seminar. This will occur on the Friday of first week of school, term 1, week 2, right? Friday evening. Okay, again, for this, right, this is mainly for us to address you, in a more informal setting, as well as for you to meet the personal mentors of your child. Okay, for personal mentors, they actually, these are form teachers. These are form teachers. Okay, so personal mentors in other schools, they may call it FT, they may call it form teacher, civics tutor. So do take note that for us, form teachers are named personal mentors. So you'll meet the personal mentor of a child. They will share with you their communication process. They will talk about how they will contact you, how they will update you termly. Okay, and will also be around. Due to, again, safe management measure, we still understanding that only one parent is allowed to attend. Okay, only one parent is allowed to attend. Right, so this will be on Friday. This will be the third engagement session. So first is today, registration briefing. Second, the welcome briefing on 10 January. Just a recap, the third is the Friday, 14 Jan. Okay, if it helps, you might want to write it down. Okay, some of the admin information that maybe your child may be worried about or you may worry about. For example, class allocation, when will it be out? Okay, so to provide you some context, the cohort size is usually about 190 to 200 per year. The kids are split into 7 classes. Okay, we do not rank the kids. So some of the common questions over the years is, oh, do we rank the kids? Do we go there rank by PSLE? Please note that we do not do that. The only criteria where we rank the kids by is by primary schools. Okay, so we try to have a big hybrid or mix of primary schools in every single class. So we can have a class of 28 students from 28 different primary schools. That is the best outcome. Our main objective again is for your child to interact with different peers all over Singapore from different primary schools. Okay, so the naming of the class will be something like 101, 102, 103, 104 to 107. Okay, and we call it JH101 because JH stands for second junior high, JH101. Okay, so this class information allocation will be out on before the first day of school, which is 7 Jan. By 14 January, you will get the class timetable. Okay, I will also teach you how to read the class timetable, so not to worry. First day of school, we will run through what does the timetable mean, what are the different module codes. Okay, we also go through the CCA schedule. Okay, so you'll know your child's CCA schedule by then. This is because in the first week of school, that's where they will be choosing their CCAs or this. So this information can only be out by then. Okay, we will also share with you most likely a Google link that will contain the assessment schedule for your child. So you can just add the link to your calendar, and straight away all the assessment dates of your child will appear in your calendar. Right, so this is really convenient. Okay, with regards to point number 3 for third language schedules are not run by us. But what I understand is it starts on the 17th of January, which is term 1 week 3, but it's the second week for school. Right? So not basically it will start after orientation week. Yeah, your child will go for orientation. During the orientation week, they don't have to worry about third language. Okay, so it will start on the 17th of January from what we understand. Okay, at the same time, please do check with the respective language centers. All right, on third language schedules. Okay, right. So once again, this is a touch point again on the language. For 10 to 14 Jan will be orientation. That's the first week of school. From 17 January, that's where the official lessons will commence. Okay, what does it mean for you? So you can tell your child not to worry, because I know some kids are very enthusiastic. They will bring all their textbooks on the first day of school. They'll bring the pencil case, everything, or the full cap. So to do assure your child that for the first week of school, there is no lessons. There are no lessons. It will only begin from 17 January onwards. Okay, and they can pack. By then, they will have received their timetable. They can pack according to the timetable. So do tell them that for the first day of school, there are no lessons. They do not have to bring their books to school. Okay, so from 17 Jan onwards, that's where official lessons will commence. For third language, okay, so third language lessons, they are held outside of NJC. They are administered by MOE. So by now, you may have, if you have done your research, you know that language centers are some. There's one at Newton, there's one at Bishan. So the lessons will commence on the week of 17 Jan, right? Please, again, reminder that due to our college elective schedule, do arrange for third language lesson to be only on Tuesdays and Thursdays, except for Malay special program, only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right. Okay. Just a brief. You will receive the detailed schedule also via PG. Just a brief outlook for parents. I mean, what is your child doing during the orientation program? So on the first day, I'll be talking to them. There's also the principal talking to them. There'll be briefings by different student leaders as well. Basically, how to go about the school, orientate them to the school compounds, where's the classrooms, okay, how to wear the school uniform and such. Okay. Then on Tuesday and Wednesdays, that's where they will have the cafe CCA tryout. So this is part of their orientation experience as well. And most kids have a very fond memory of this because this is I think not often where every school the kid actually goes for every single CCA. So they will have time to canoe, they will have time to play basketball, they will play the musical instruments, all under safety measures, of course. This is where they'll actually try all the different CCAs within these 2 days. All right. On Thursday, this is where they will have their station games, all right, audition group dance. They will get to make friends, they will get to meet people from other primary school. And finally, on Friday, that's where they have their finale games and they'll meet their personal mentors. Okay, PMs here stands for personal mentors. Just a recap, this stands for form teacher. All right, OG stands for orientation group. Okay, so as just like similar to for those of you who had your varsity days here, and then there's orientation group, there's an orientation program. Okay. Okay, so next I will just quickly touch a bit about AEP and music program. So AEP for art elective program, okay, the selection test is done in cohort wide. Okay, so it's not, you don't have to come back before the first year of school. It's during term 1, week 1, art lessons. Okay, so it should be term 1, week 2, right? Term 1, week 2, not term 1. Okay, so for parents and students who are keen to find out more about this program, later on there will be art teacher, okay, Mr. Ernest Yeo, as well as music teacher, Mr. Aaron Lam, who will come in to address the final details of AEP and music program. Okay, and for music program, there is a selection test next Tuesday. Okay, so do take note of the details if your child is keen to enroll for the music program. All right, so do take note of the details. There is a selection test next Tuesday, 11 to 12:30, and the reporting time is 10:45. Okay, it's for the 2 extra electives. Okay, so for parents who are keen to find out more, do stay on after this live stream, all right, for briefing by the various aesthetics com teachers. Okay, by now, you should have received a parent's PG message. This is just a friendly summary because we understand that there I mean it's quite stressful being a parent. There are so many forms to fill in. So this is just a summary to let you know which are the forms you need to fill in as well as the deadlines. Okay, so there are a total of 7 forms. Okay, not all the forms are eligible for everyone, but the first 4 is for everyone. Okay, pack membership, reply slip for parents, right? Consent slip for orientation, and most importantly, the student registration form. We need that to gather the student particulars. If you have not done it, please do so. Okay, right. Higher mother tongue acknowledgement form again. If you are eligible, you will have received the PG message by now. Okay. Okay, for point number 7, MOE FAS, this stands for Financial Assistance Scheme. So we seek your help, I mean, to check if you are eligible for FAS scheme. Please do let us know. Then we will actually do the relevant admin procedures with you. Okay. Okay. Now the next point about school smart cards. Okay, some of you the concern may be, like, so my child is going to a secondary school, can she use the EasyLink card? Yeah. So the answer is yes. Your child from transition from primary 6 to junior high 1. Okay, we call it junior high 1, not sec 1. So the child can still use the primary school smart cards till end April. Typically, in a school calendar, the development of, we usually make the card about March. Okay, it's about March. So what I understand is during March period, the vendor will come down and take the photo for the child, and that about March to April, that's where they will get their secondary school concession pass. Okay, so do remind our child not to worry that they can get the card. They can still use their primary school card. Okay, but however, they must purchase the bus concession pass for secondary school students. They are no longer primary school. Okay, can still can use the primary school card, but purchase the secondary school concession pass. Okay, for the first 4 months. Okay, next I'll go to again more I think relevant details. I think urgent info. Okay, for example, the purchase of school uniform. Okay, this is our recommendation for uniform, blouse, shirt. Okay, we just require you to buy 1 set. The context is that due to the weather, actually our if you have friends in our school, you know that the kids, they have been half grade for some time where they'll be wearing PE attire for the top, but uniform shorts and blouses and skirts for the bottom. Okay, so uniform blouse shirt 1. Okay, remarks basically the day that we wear is on Monday. Uniform skirt or Bermudas. Okay, take note that for junior high 1, the attire that I'm getting is the charcoal grey. Okay, so don't buy the long pants. That's for junior high 3 and 4. Yeah, so that's for charcoal grey. Okay, PE t-shirt 2 to 3. House t-shirt, we will let your child know where is their house. Okay, so it depends. It's not confirmed yet. Okay, it has to be depending on again the allocation, which will only. So once we confirm their houses, that's where they can wear their house t-shirt. They can procure their house t-shirt and wear it on Thursdays. PE shorts. Okay, definitely they will need the PE shorts for their PE lessons, which are twice a week. They will need it for their CCA. They may need it for orientation as well. Okay. Finally, the last row, polo t-shirt. Okay. On Wednesday. Okay. Usually we wear it on Wednesday. Okay. Okay. Then, okay. So now I will share with you where and how to buy. Okay. So this slides again is congruent to the points that you see in the document that you received in PG. Okay. I will once again run through so that you are clear how to procure the school attire as well as school books. I think that's of immediate concern. Okay, option 1, okay, you can procure in NJC, okay, at the TF classrooms. Okay, so TF classrooms, not to worry, when you come to NJC on 28, 29 December, our student leaders will be there. The peer support leaders will be there to guide you. They will usher you to the TF classroom. Okay, so the sales schedule, later on, I'll just share with you. It's also in the PG document, right? Basically, it's by order of your primary schools. Okay, if you have missed the 28, 29 December, for example, there's no sizes available, there is a third round of sales on the 10th January, first day of school, of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. So if you're coming to NJC, take note that later on I will share again. There'll be a side and a main gate. You can come in by the side gate as well as the main gate. Okay, right. So how to enter into the school compounds? Not to worry. I'll cover you later on. Okay. So purchase of the school attire. All right. The first one is on 28 December. So please follow the first and second letters of your primary school. Okay, for example, okay, if you're Alexandra Primary School, then you should be the first 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So follow the first 2 letters of your primary school. Okay, so we seek your understanding, not to be too kiasu, don't rush, because we need to spread out the parents. Okay, we do not want a situation where there's a very long queue and it causes anxiety and stress to all of you. Okay, so do try to follow the schedule for your primary school. Okay, so this is the schedule for Wednesday. All right, again, TF classrooms, not to worry if you are not sure where to go once you're in the school compound, not to worry. Our student leaders will be there to guide you. Okay. Second option, so remember, purchase of school attire, I covered the first one in NJC. Second one, online purchase. Okay, so you can also procure it online. So note that, okay, sorry for this, but we have 2 different vendors. One vendor, the first one, you see schooluniform.sg, that is for our school uniform, means our shirt, okay, our school shirt uniform and our school pants, the charcoal grey. Okay, the second vendor is for our PE attire. Okay, so you see 2 different links because they are for 2 different apparels. One is for school uniform, one is for PE attire. Okay, if you were to purchase online, then there's an option for you to collect from school, right? So if you want some, I know of some parents who are really like going this morning to key in and make the procurement, right? So you can collect from school. You can also ask for delivery to your house. I believe there's a surcharge for that. Okay, so this is option 2. Option 1, buy in NJC. Option 2, purchase online. Okay, option 3, okay, face-to-face procurement. So you can also go down or visit the retail store. Okay, once again, sorry for the inconvenience. Take note of the 2 different retail stores. School uniform is under BB and Papa. All right, the contact details and opening hours are here for you. And for PE attire, is under my uniform shop. Okay, the address is in Upper Changi. All right, and again, the contact number and opening hours here are as shown. Okay, so once again, just to recap how to buy your school attire, there are a total of 3 options. option 1 in NJC, option 2 online, option 3 at the retail store itself. Okay, so if there's any questions after this or you're not sure, please do feel free to ask. You can also, I'll give you my mobile number later on as well. Okay, now I'll go to the next segment, purchase of books. Okay, where and how to buy. Okay, for procurement of books, okay, basically you can do it online. www.essential.com. This is the vendor name for our school bookshop. Okay, so just it's not popular as Essential. So when you enter the website, they might ask you to create an account. There'll be some admin procedures, and after that, again, the collection can be done. You can ask them to send it to your house. If I'm not wrong, I checked the delivery fee is about $10, or you can also opt to collect from the school bookshop. Okay, means you can order online and ask for them to deliver to NJC. So you just turn up in school. You can do it together when you're buying the attire, and you just collect and you can take both and go. Okay, I think this is the least painful process. Okay, so you can, again, the only option is to purchase online and buy from school and collect from school, sorry. Okay, so we will encourage you all to do that. That will be the most time efficient way. Okay, some of you might be very concerned, okay, what kind of shoes to wear for students. Okay, school to school, there are different guidelines. Okay, so for us, the keyword is garish. All right, so not approved are what we call garish. Or if you see that there are 2 columns here, all right, those on the left side are approved. Predominantly, we require the students to wear white, black, or non-garish shoes. Means they must be either a single color or dull color. Okay, what we do not encourage, again, is for students to wear garish or slip-ons or Crocs or flashy shoes. I mean, draw a lot of attention, and again, it's not congruent with the school uniform. Okay. And so do take note of the shoes to wear, in case that might be one of the things that I think a lot of parents are already buying for these few days. Okay. Okay, so now the next portion, I will talk a bit about traffic and safety. Okay, so day-to-day, transportation commute, we will encourage all students to be independent. That is to make use of the public transport system in the daily commute to and from school. Okay, so as much as possible, we are quite close to Tan Kah Kee MRT. Okay, so if your child is, if you're up to the parents' comfort level, we do encourage the child to take their own public transport, okay, and to be independent and come to school. Okay, but in bullet point 2, if you are driving your child or walk to school, again, sorry for this, do take note that traffic will be expected to be heavy in the vicinity and within the campus, especially between 7 to 7:40 a.m. That's where most of the schools in the vicinity, they are starting the school, you will expect jam. And in the event of wet weather, okay, you expect even more jam, sometimes even floods. So do be aware, aware of this. All right, do be aware of this. Okay. Right. So traffic and safety. Okay. When in the morning, our traffic warden, our traffic wardens will actually be within the school compound. All right, so they will be there, and when you drive up the main gate later on, later I'll try to show you a video. Do cooperate with traffic wardens, yeah, because we just seek for the safety of your, because there will be kids crossing the road, there will be students alighting. We do seek your cooperation to cooperate. Also be polite with the traffic wardens in the morning. And again, the big picture is it is the interest of everyone's safety. Okay, for nothing else, right? And please drop off your child or your ward at the designated drop-off point. Okay, so just later I will show you a video on where is the designated drop-off point. Okay, so this is one of the point. Okay, if you look at the school, this is where we are right beside Nanyang Girls. This is the side gate for both Nanyang Girls and. Okay, sorry, I couldn't make any annotation on the pictures also. Okay, so but this is the side gate. Okay, the buses. Okay, if you look at under the shelter, there is an entrance into the school. This is where once they enter, they will walk through the school field. Okay, along the pavement the school field, and they walk to the canteen. So in the morning, do note that sometimes this stretch of road can be quite congested, maybe because of the again, the parents are lining up for the cars to turn into the RGPS and NJC. You can try, as much as possible, you can only drop off your child, okay, in the lane beside the pavement. Please do not try to drop them off in the lane in the middle of the road. It is very, very dangerous. All right. All right. So please make sure that you need to drop them off. If you're dropping them off here, this is one of the places. Please drop them in the lane beside the pavement. Okay. And the students can also enter via this gate. Okay. Now this is main gate 5, another avenue for you to drop off if you are driving. Okay, so if you look at the map, along Daniel Road, if you turn left into Hillcrest Road, that will be the main gate. So this is the main gate. That's where you enter. And if you can see in the corner right behind, you can see the traffic warden there. They will be there to guide you. Okay, so just give me a sec. Let me try to share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, once you enter through the main gate, this is what you will see. Okay, so this is where you can drop off your child. So up into the slope, main gate, you turn left. This is where you can drop off your child. Okay, so once you drop a child, you can actually head straight down. I can't remember the name of this road, but the gate will be open. Okay, so when you go down, you can actually exit straight away. So you don't have to make a U-turn back into the main gate. You can actually go straight down. Okay. Okay, so this is where you can drop your child. Okay, in the event of wet weather, okay, so you can see in the video here, it's raining. Okay, so in the event of wet weather, okay, this is what will happen. I mean, in the event of wet weather, we can't expect your child to drop off in the middle of the square. All right, so this is, again, now you take a look. If in wet weather, this is what you can do. You drive all the way in. You make a right turn. You can see the atrium here. Okay, so this is what we call the atrium or the general office. Okay, this is where you can drop off your child. Okay, this is where you can drop off your child. Okay, so again, the kids drop off here, right? Once again, just to show you the full run through. Okay, so next, I'm already on my last slide. Okay, so before I hand over to HOD for academic matters and info and stats, Mr. Teo Ziwei, just want to assure you again, and as teachers, we believe that it takes a village to raise a child, and it's very important. And I think if you talk to previous parents of the school, you know that we spend a lot of effort to engage parents, and we really want to keep you updated. So under in this slide, what you see is the homeschool communication. All right. Number 1, of course, the information is passed through a school website. Point number 2 will be Parents Gateway. Okay, this is the official mode of communication across all MOE schools in Singapore. All right, so we communicate with the parents via Parents Gateway. Now, unlike the past where you had hard copy consent form, now you see the consent form, the info sheet, the electives that your child is in, they're always communicated. You also do check your Parents Gateway often. All right. Point number 3, I mean, as an additional supplement, this is again, you need to ask. We will please save the following numbers. Okay. We will actually use WhatsApp broadcast to communicate with you as well. This is more for informal information, maybe such as maybe Chinese New Year, what to wear, what to bring for Teachers' Day, that kind of thing. Okay. So these two are our numbers. For point number 3, do take note that it's important that you save our numbers. Okay, otherwise the messages will not be able to reach you. Okay, so it's like Facebook. I can only message you. I do not know, but I mean I can only message you if you add me as a friend. So WhatsApp broadcast, you have to save my number before my messages can reach you. Okay. Last but not least, of course, point number 4 is via email. And some of us, some teachers, maybe are more comfortable using email, right? So we also use email as well, especially for cohort-wide announcement. All right. So do take note that this is slightly different from your child. From your child, we communicate with them often via Google Classroom. Okay, Google Classroom. All right. So take note of the 4 modes of communicate, 4 points of contact. Okay, so maybe as a parent in the position, what I'll do is I'll check the parents' gateway often and look out for messages from Mr. Jeffrey Tan or Miss Mark. Okay, so next I will pass. I hope the briefing has been fine for all of you. Do feel free to text me or put on the YouTube comments if you have any questions. Then I'll pass on the mic later on to my Mr. Teo Ziwei, HOD Academic Matters and Info and Stats, who will talk to you, share with you about the ICT PDLP program. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. Okay, hi, parents, good morning. Very close to good afternoon. I'm Mr. Teo here. I'll be giving you a little briefing regarding the personalized digital literacy program that is in National Junior College. Okay, so I'll need the slides. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Sorry. Next slide, please. Yeah. Throughout the 4 years of junior high in National Junior College, we will be using quite a number of ICT in teaching and learning for both the teachers and the students. So for National Junior College, we value student centricity a lot, and we focus a lot on building our students to become self-regulated learners. Okay, and as a college, we do create an environment which inculcates the strategies of self-regulation into our students. Okay, when they're young, so whereby we teach them how to do forward thinking, planning, manage their own performance, and definitely we want them to own their self-reflection. Okay, so this National Digital Literacy Program was actually launched last year by former Minister for Education, Mr. Ong Yi Kang. Okay, objective was to equip students with the skills to be future ready, and for this National Digital Literacy Program, the PDLP, which is the Personalized Digital Learning Program, is one of the main components of the program, whereby every secondary school students will be given a personal learning device, okay, for learning. Next, please. Okay, so we will be using the personal learning device to attend e-learning lessons, and as you can see, over the past 2 years, I think our country went into quite a number of home-based learning for many or all MOE schools. Okay, in addition, we will continue to have e-learning platforms for students to learn. So mainly they are the student learning space, the MOE SLS, and the MOE Google Classrooms. Okay, and in addition, there are other technologies, applications that the students will be used for learning in school or even at home. Okay, next. Okay, so here are the intended outcomes of the personalized digital learning program. So first, we want to use this program to enhance teaching and learning. Okay, next, we would like students to definitely become more self-directed and be able to learn collaboratively. Okay, and finally, we want to support the development of digital literacies for all our students. Okay, so today is the briefing, and you will be receiving a package from our administration regarding the intent to purchase this learning device. I'll let you know what will be the learning device and what will be so-called some ways of which you can offset this purchase. Okay, we will then do once we collected all the forms. Okay, there will be a bulk purchase in February, and by March, estimated, we will expect to get the device, and then of which your child will receive them. So between January to March, you don't have to worry that hey, your child do not have a device to learn, because teachers are fully aware when the devices are coming, so they will adjust their lessons and homework such that your child will still ensure that your child can learn effectively in the first term of January. So from now till as Mr. Tan said, the third time that we are meeting all of you, okay, where the form teachers or the personal mentors are meeting you, okay, it is a good opportunity for you to discuss with your child whether you all intend to purchase the device or not. Because when you purchase the device via Ministry of Education, there are some, or via National Junior College, there are some form of control that we will have. Okay, next please. Okay, so in terms of proper usage, okay, the school will be using applications to manage the classroom teaching, to ensure that students are able to pay attention in class. Okay, the teachers will have the ability to lock the devices lock the devices while they're learning. Okay, during school time, students will not be allowed to use any devices, and in particular, let's say they have their handphones. Okay, they have to be kept in the class handphone pouches. Okay, unless requested by teachers. Okay, now in addition, with this device, we welcome parents to sign up for courses in the Apple Singapore, okay, or to help you to manage the use of this device when they are at home. Thank you. Next one. Okay, so under this PDLP, there will be this device management applications whereby both in school and at home, the teachers in school will help to manage the device in school, and when they are at home, parents can help to manage the device at home. Okay, so this DMA, device management application, is a requirement. Okay, but parents can do some opt-in to manage these devices when the students are at home. Otherwise, the default would be following ministry's management services throughout. Okay, so if you notice the first block, the first left-hand one, orange one, that is the ministry's default, whereby be it at home or in school, this device will be managed basically by schools. Okay, parents can opt in, okay, to manage the child's use of this device at home. Okay, I think if I'm not wrong, every day is after 6 p.m. They can do this management on their own, whereby you have to opt in. Okay, so more information will be given on the first day when you all have this when my colleagues engage all of you, or on the parent seminar, okay, on the Friday, whereby the form teachers are engaging you. More information will be released by then. Okay, next. Okay, so regarding the management of the use of device, okay, both in school and at home, okay, ministry has actually made a lot of changes to the CCE education. So it will feature significantly in the upcoming CCE lessons in this whole year, and even subsequent all years in secondary education. Okay, topics that will be covered in the cyber wellness will include the use of this device, cyber identities, relationships, citizens, and the ethical use of the devices. Okay, next. Okay, most important, we would like parents and guardians to ensure that students are always well supported in the use of technology for learning. Okay, and there are many ways in which you can help us, okay, or you can even help a child. So first one is to monitor the good digital habits for a child. Okay, first, I think some of the possibility includes ensuring that your child do not use a device when they are having a family meal with you. Okay, know your child well and have a good conversations about how to use the devices in a safe and responsible manner. Okay, setting ground rules for the use of internet usage, or even use it for gaming, or even for watching videos. Okay, and guide your child on how to use the tools, okay, to organize his or her work properly. Okay, yeah, next. Okay, so the device that we'll be using in National Junior College is the Apple iPad, okay, the 9th generation, okay, together with a keyboard, okay, that serves both as a keyboard and a protection for the iPad. The total cost is $729.70 with GST, and it includes a 3-year warranty and insurance. So this is the only device that we will be using, and parents can use this opportunity to discuss with their child whether they want to purchase this device under the PDLP program. Okay, there's only one choice. There's no choice number 2, choice number 3, and so on. There's only one choice, which is the Apple iPad 9th generation. Okay, next. Okay, so in terms of funding support, okay, this 700 plus devices will be, you can use the EduSave, a one-time top-up EduSave of $200 to offset the 700 plus device. Okay, now subsidies will be provided for MOE FAS students and those from lower income. So basically, if you are identified as a FAS students, please do not buy anything yet first. The schools will guide you how to use it. Okay, Singapore citizens who do not qualify for subsidies will be allowed to draw down from EduSave People funds without a cap to reduce the out-of-pocket expenses. Basically, if you have difficulty purchasing the devices due to financial issues, just don't buy anything first. Maybe speak to Mr. Tan or Ms. Mark or the form teachers. We will help you accordingly. Now, this EduSave top up is only a one-time $200. Okay, and it will not be top up again. So this is only a one-time purchase throughout the entire learning for the 12 years in the education in Singapore. Okay, next. Okay, now the insurance coverage, okay, will include the following. While it includes accidental coverage, etc., I think our advice to all students is always take care of the device properly. Okay, and accidental loss will definitely not be covered by insurance. Okay, next. Okay, so now you may be wondering, hey, if I have a device at home, okay, if I really got an iPad, do I need to purchase this personalized digital learning device? Okay, the answer is no, you do not have to. In fact, students or families members who already have an existing iPad meeting the following requirements, you do not need to purchase this iPad under the PDLP program. Okay, now in fact, over the past 2 years, if you have purchased a new iPad, okay, you do not generally need to buy it if you think that this iPad is reusable. Okay, so example, if you have purchased an iPad Air 2 or Mini 4 within the past couple of years, it's possible just to use it. You don't have to deliberately spend the money for a new iPad. Then what parents may ask, what will happen to the EduSave top up of $200? Okay, well, you can use it, okay, subsequently, perhaps a couple of years later, okay, when you think that the current iPad that you're using is spoiled, okay, or at the end of the day, you don't even intend to use, and this $200 will be converted to CPF for your child when they grow up. Okay, so third bullet point, just take note. I want to reinforce: if the child or the family is on financial assistance, please do not purchase anything first. We'll give you more support and more information later on. Okay, so you may be wondering, if I don't want to buy via the MOE PDLP program, where else can I buy? Okay, you can buy at the Apple Education Singapore, which is a little bit cheaper. Okay, or you can buy at any other proper resale outlets. Yeah, next. Okay, now is it optional to buy the Apple Pencil? You don't need to. Okay, because actually the keyboard with the iPad is good enough. Okay, but if you want to buy, it's fine. But this one you have to buy on your own at any Apple Apple store or any retail outlets. This one you have to buy on your own. Okay, next. Okay, now what are the common apps that will be used in our daily teaching and learning? So here are the ones. Okay, Desmos are the ones commonly used for math. We'll be using the Google Classrooms quite regularly for putting up announcements, or if there's any materials that the teachers will have upload into the classes. Okay, Padlet, okay, and the various G Suite that will be used. Okay, and some of the teachers will be using e-textbooks such as from Xingli, okay, to teach, okay, in class. Okay, now on top of that, every student will be given an MOE student account. So this is how the account looks like. So for example, if your child's name is called Lionel O Wei Hao, so your child's email address will be Lionel_O_Wei_Hao@students.edu.sg. Okay, in addition, every student will actually be granted a license to use the Microsoft Office tools that include Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. And they are also given a free 40-minute Zoom account to use. So basically what you need to do is just log in to the Zoom or the Microsoft Pro Plus using we call it the student icon, okay, account. Okay, now next. Okay, so this is an example of how we will use the device for learning. So this is a product. Okay, so for example, on both pictures, you can see how the students actually use the device to design a poster on how they felt about certain programs that they have learned. Okay, or they use it to showcase some of the possible exciting features that they have discovered or learned in, example, a science lesson. Okay, next. Yeah, okay. So I'm done. So today the session is mainly on some administrative details. Use this opportunity to discuss with the child whether there is really a need to purchase this learning device. Okay, now I have a question from the parents whether we can use a Samsung tablet. You can possibly use a Samsung tablet, just that, okay, if the teacher requires a child to say share the work online, share with the class, you may have difficulty because we are using the Apple TVs, okay, and it may pose some inconveniences. Okay, and there could be some applications that may not be that may not be on the same compatibility as the iPad. Okay, can we use the MacBook or the MacBook Air? Okay, well, the reason why we ask for a iPad is because learning actually don't just take place in classrooms. You actually hear from teachers that actually your child has to go out of the classrooms, take pictures, discover some stuff, okay, in our NDC garden even, okay, and they even need to carry the iPads to learn physical education. So carrying a device that could be quite bulky and heavy, such as a MacBook or even a normal laptop, may not be so feasible. Okay, yep. Okay, we have a parent asking for a dismissal time. Okay, now generally for dismissal time, we will end school at about 2 p.m. Okay, so most of the time the students will be released at 2 p.m. and then from there you can make arrangements to go home from there. But also do note of the traffic conditions, because that is also the time whereby some schools from maybe example RGPS or even Nanyang Girls may also be released. So do take note of the heavy traffic that comes along the way. Okay, I am done. So over to Mr. Tan. Thank you very much.
Hi parents, before I address you further on the questions, we will invite first Mr. Ang again to do a short address to some of your queries. Mr. Ang, please.
Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Parents, I thought I would like to address some concerns you have, because I've been tracking your comments, as well as some of the emails that you all have sent to us. First of all, third language. I would like to clarify that third language is not offered, as said earlier by my colleague, Jeffrey, by the school. It is done at 2 centers. The other more important so-called clarification is that we are not the ones, the school does not decide on who can take what foreign language. So if you were to write to us to appeal, we can't do anything, right? What you need to do is, if you would like to appeal, because I saw some very long email appeals asking us whether we can reconsider, it is really not up to us. There's certain criteria set by the Ministry Ministry of Education regarding who can and who cannot take third language. Now, the other concern I have is please do not clamor to do so many things, right? Because in secondary schools, the so-called number of subjects that your child has to do is far more than in primary schools. So if you are too ambitious, right, it may not do your child good. For example, many students who have taken third language, some of them actually drop out after a year. With regard to CCAs, right, some of you talked about, if you have TSA music and so on, whether you have to follow the cafe program. Do not worry too much about it. School has not started. We'll give more details later. So try not to anticipate too many things, all right? Try to do what is administratively necessarily at this point in time, right? We will take into consideration every concern that you have. For example, one parent asks about whether my child pursues golf outside. Does he or she have to do a CCA? Not to worry about that. We can always talk about all these things. Okay, what is most important? I want to re-emphasize this is that we want to have trust between the school and parents regarding the development and growth of your children or your child specifically. And that's the reason why I made the 3 points earlier. Okay, so whatever matters that need to be settled, we can always sit down, talk about it, and we can settle the matter. Okay, because when I track all the comments, they are quite specific. We may not be able to answer every single one, right? And we are not going to be able to talk about more details regarding, say, the last question was on boarding program and so on, because this is not the time and place for talking about this. Okay, what we need to do is to find a good time and place to talk about it. Today is more about administrative matters. So let us sort out the administrative matters first. It's not that we do not want to address your concerns. Okay, we will address your concerns as we move along. It's still early in the year. It's early in the year in the sense that I'm talking about 2022. We want your children to be able to adjust, and we do not want your children to be rushed into adjusting, because it is not an easy transition for a primary school kid to go to Sec 1. Okay, the adjustment is different. And I want to repeat what I've said earlier. Do not be overly ambitious for your child. Right? Some parents are overly ambitious for the children, thinking that the children can do everything. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, what we want is to ensure that your child has a happy time here, joyful learning, and as I said earlier, become a better person 6 years down the road. So do not worry too much about the intricacies. Let's work through the admin matters, and then we can talk about what will help your child grow as time goes on. It's 6 years. It's not a 1 year thing. Okay? So thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. And you can stop the questions coming if you can possibly do that. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so I'll go further to answer some of the questions posted by the parents. Okay, so we do see understanding that if we are not able to answer all the specific questions after this, please feel free to message me. You have my mobile number. Okay, on this note, apologies, there is an error right on Miss Mark Wei Shan's mobile number. Her number is 9735 3153. 9735 3153. It is different from the slides. Okay, we will make the correction as well as to post the corrected slides on Parents Gateway after this. Okay, can. Okay, then yeah. So okay, the uniform schedule as well as there's a bit slight error. So please follow the schedule that's sent to you via Parents Gateway. Okay, please follow the uniform schedule that's sent to you via Parents Gateway. Okay, you follow that, you will be fine. All right. So for house T-shirt, please do not buy first. The rationale being you do not know your child will not know their houses until the first year of school. So there is ample time for them to buy right after the first year of school from the school bookshop there. So there's no need to rush into buying the house T-shirt. All right. So we would again advise you not to waste money to buy all the different houses. So your child will know the house after the first year of school. Okay. Okay. So once again, a reminder. Please follow the documents that you see in the Parents Gateway. Okay. Some of you are checking about the uniform sizes. So in the documents that we send to you, right, there is a certain measurement on what it's good to do your measurements first before you come to school. For example, the waist size, all this, right? So that when you come to school, there is no trying on. In addition, when you log in online to the uniform website, if you check on the uniform vendor website, the sizes are there. They actually have the NJC a 3D version of the shirt. They will tell you what sizes are suitable for you. Okay, so not and t-shirt as well. Okay, as well as a blouse and uniform. Okay, if in the event that your shirt does not suit you after you procure it, maybe next week, then there is a 1-for-1 exchange. You can come back on the 10th of January to do the exchange. All right, provided the shirts are in unwashed and good condition, right? They must be unwashed and new condition, right? So please do take note of this. Okay, another question was uh, okay, if for cafe CCAs and DSA students, do they need to attend their cafe CCAs? Yes. For term 1 and term 2, even for DSA students, your cafe CCA takes priority, right? So they need to attend the cafe CCA first, okay? Right, so because they have 4 years to commit to their CCA, so I think the first 2 terms is fair that they will have a lively and joyful experience trying out different CCAs, okay? Question asked, is the digital bundle compulsory for books? Yes, answer is yes. So the digital bundle allows you to upload the textbooks into your iPad as well. So sometimes you may need to do annotations on your textbooks, right? So it's done by the digital bundle. Okay. Right. Okay. Short. A question asked again whether will the recording be up after this? Yes, the recording will be online. You can continue to view it until we'll keep it online until late January. Okay, so not to worry. All right. Yeah. So if there's any questions and your questions are answered, if you have specific short questions, please do feel free to text me. All right. Once again, my number is 97843871. Okay. If not, I think that will be all for the briefing. Okay, so for parents who are interested in the art elective program as well as the music program, please do stay on. Okay, our subject head for art elective program, Mr. Ernest Yeo, he will actually address you and give you more details on the selection as well as the details as well as the history of NJC's AEP, followed by Mr. Aaron Lam, who will talk about the music program in our school as well. Okay, over to you, Mr. Yeo.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tan. All right, thank you for your interest in art elective program. All right, today I will be providing you insight, all right, regarding this AAP art elective program. So if it's something that you have always been interested in, or your child has always been interested in art, all right, I believe that could be one of the reasons why you are staying behind for this. All right, Mr. Tan, I would need the slides now. Yeah, all right. If you have already went to our website, all right, to find out about the AP program, you'll realize that our AP motto, right, is creative for tomorrow, care to dream, dare to meet. I will try to elaborate on the intention, all right, for us to have this motto. All right, next, please. Okay. If you have already visited our college website, you will notice that the art elective program is actually parked under one of our niche program. All right. The reason being, all right, we are one of the few schools, all right, that offer this art elective program. Next, please. Okay, just a brief insight and history on AAP. Right, our next program has actually been around since 1984, as introduced by MOE. All right, the intention was to offer it to academically able students, right, with passion in art, all right, at selected schools. So NJC was offered to offer this AAP in 1985, and as we progressed and became an integrated program school, right? It was extended to our GH level in 2013. Next, please. Okay, I mentioned schools that offer AP. We are one of the 7 secondary schools that offer AP, and one of the 3 JCs that offer AP. All right, so your child is already with us. All right, so there's this opportunity for them to embark on this AP journey, and I will elaborate on what makes NJC unique in terms of our AP program. Next, please. Okay. because your child is in an integrated program, it's a 6-year journey. All right, our AP curriculum is designed in a very developmental level. All right, right now, all right, your child is in JH1. All right, as mentioned by Mr. Tan earlier, first week, all right, is orientation week. When lesson starts in week 2, all right, during their art lesson, we will be conducting this cohort-wide selection test, all right, of which is meant for us to identify students with potential, all right, or have certain keen interests, right, in art. And from then on, right, throughout the term 1, they will go through this probation period for them to experience what the AAP is about, so that by the end of term 1, all right, they can make a more informed decision with you on whether they really want to embark on this AAP journey. All right. You notice below, all right, it's indicated that AP Junior High runs for 4 years. But because we are at a unique standing whereby it's a 6-year integrated program, all right, the intention is for your child to be developed and equipped, right, for this AAP, even in the SH level. Of course, in the long term, right, when they eventually reach GH4, they can still make this decision, right, whether they want to proceed on. But that will be another conversation when they are in GH4. Now, this particular diagram, right, is actually available on our website. All right, so right now I'm just highlighting certain key points for GH1. All right, next please. Okay, as I mentioned earlier on, all right, our AP curriculum is designed in a 6-year program. All right, they are at a unique standing whereby they have a longer runway, all right, to develop and to pursue their passion in art. All right, while junior high is 4-year, our curriculum is split into 3-3, whereby they'll experience 3 years of GH art. All right, and then at GH4, they will start to have some experience in what SH art is about and possibly consider taking it as an A-level subject, right, when they are in SH2, JC2. Okay, I will not elaborate on the detail in this diagram, which is also available on our website. Okay, but one of the key developmental level is a level of innovation, right? When at JH1, we want them to improve on their existing idea through experiences in their art lessons, all right? And they'll be equipped with certain key skills as we try to develop them towards this longer journey. All right, next please. Okay, so what is AAP exactly? All right, I mean, as mentioned earlier on, it's meant for students, all right, who are academically able and have this keen interest and passion in art. All right, so we want to stretch their talent, all right, and eventually also to develop them in art, all right, through whatever field they might eventually be in. So it's not so much of I've never considered thinking about taking art as a possible career path, and so therefore I do not need to take art. All right. The intention here is, all right, through experiencing AP, right, they will be equipped with certain skills that would benefit them in other domains as well. All right, next please. Okay, so what are some of the things that they will learn? All right, I will split it into 2 broad areas, which is studio practice and study of visual arts. All right, in terms of studio practice, right, students will embark on this curriculum whereby elegant tasks, right, are designed, all right, for them to be able to be self-directed and generate idea, right, eventually. With a lot of focus on acquiring thinking skill through experimentation like prototyping. All right, all this is very much integrated in the process of art making. So besides the hands-on skills in studio practice, right, there would be theory, all right, in the form of writing, all right, discussion and presentation. So throughout this journey, right, as they progress, right, it'll be more of independent learning. All right, and we would also allow your child would also have opportunity to attend art events, exhibition, or master classes conducted by professional practitioner artists, right, to broaden, right, their understanding of this domain. Right. Next, please. Okay, to support your child in this journey, all right, APA have dedicated learning space. We have an art block, all right, which is designed in a way for them to be able to fulfill their artistic potential. All right, next, please. So it's actually 3 level, right? These are just some of the key equipment, right, and facilities which is available, right, for our AP students. In fact, some of our art lessons are also conducted, right, in this art block as well. Right. Next, please. Besides having lesson in school, right, as I mentioned, right, we are one of the schools that offer AP, right. So AP as a program by MOE, right, there's also the chance for them to interact with other art students from other AP schools. So in Sec 1, right, there's this combined workshop, and then eventually at Sec 3 as well. Right. Exhibition-wise, right, they will get to see students work from other schools, and they will have a chance to, right, to be docents whenever the opportunity arises, or even conduct workshop. Next, please. Okay, as mentioned earlier, all right, our curriculum is designed, right, in stages, all right. But all this, one of the key aspects and focus is the authentic and experiential learning, all right. So some of this is done through artist sharing, all right, or as I mentioned earlier, master classes, right. So they'll get a chance to interact or with artists or even other lecturers, right. We are working with university like SUTD, all right, for some of the lecturers there to be a mentor for our senior high AP students. Of course, there's also the learning or outside of classroom, whereby visiting museums or other schools. Right? Next, please. Okay, so these are just some of the photos that I'm sharing with you all in regards to some of the workshops that I talked about. All right. Of course, art making is not an individual endeavor. All right, they will learn in a group setting as well. One of the key skills we would like them is to ask good questions as well, and have this risk-taking mentality to try out new things. Right. Next, please. Yeah. So when I mentioned independent learning, right? Okay, your child will play a very active role in their learning, right? Where art allows them to seek out new ideas, right, and practice observation skill, right, which is also beneficial not just in the domain of art, right, which would be beneficial for them in other subject area as well. Right. Next, please. Okay, so there's also writing, right? Plenty of chance for them to practice their public speaking skill, right, when it comes to presentation in class, all right, or having exchange with their peers. Right? Okay, next, please. Now, this is what I mentioned in regards to experiencing art also outside of classroom in the real world. Right? So they get to showcase and present their work in school and in public. Biannually, there's this AP exhibition, right, whereby the child will be able to showcase their work. All this is a platform designed for our students, right, to have a sense of achievement as well. Right. Next, please. Okay, so I come back to this particular diagram. All right. I mentioned earlier, all right, in term 1, week 2, there will be this selection test. Your child will be briefed on this selection test during the art lesson, all right? And once they've been identified to be ready or have the potential, all right, to be in this AP program, all right, parents, you know, will be receiving a consent, all right, by the end of term 1. Actually, before that, you all will also be informed via Parents Gateway whether after discussing with your child whether you would like them to attend the trial AAP lesson, right? Yeah, so some of the entry requirement, all right, obviously, all right, if you are here or if your child is here as well, right, there's definitely interest in art making. So it's not necessarily just drawing, painting. It could be if they're interested in 3D art making or digital art making, right? These are definitely some of the areas that we will look into as well. And if you are very, very keen on this, right? I mentioned here, portfolio may be submitted for consideration. They can speak to their art teacher and highlight to them they have this portfolio. So by portfolio, I mean it could be any artwork they have done, right, in recent years, right? So, but it's not compulsory, right? So, but if you do want to prepare this portfolio, you may do so either in a physical form or digital. And as I mentioned earlier, all right, after the selection test, all right, they will experience this trial period during term 1 before committing to this 4-year AAP program, which is until GH4, all right, whereby you will receive a letter of undertaking from us. Some of the administrative things to keep a lookout for in terms of AAP is the lesson time for GH1 and 2 is every Tuesday, 2:30 to 5:30. Right? So if your child is taking third language and is also interested in AAP, right? So you might want to sign up for your third language on a Thursday, right? So that your child would be able to attend an AAP lesson on a Tuesday. Something to keep a lookout for in the long term is for GH3 and 4, the AAP lesson is on a Thursday. Okay, right. Next, please. Okay, so with that, right, I hope that I've provided certain insight to you. Perhaps one common questions that I always receive from parents. Mr. Tan, do you mind going back to the previous slides, 2 slides? Yes. All right. Yeah, some parents will ask, what if my child is very interested in AAP but didn't get selected in this GH1 selection test? All right. If you look at this diagram, by the end of GH2, there's actually another possible entry point, right, whereby either the child expressed interest again, or during the general art lesson, we notice the potential in your child and we will recommend and provide them this opportunity for them to take AAP. And from then on, we will also allow them to try out the AAP lesson and then go through a diagnostic test, right? And eventually all this, by the end of GH2, is they can consider again, right? So it's not or if they don't get into AAP in GH1, there's no more opportunity, all right? By the end of GH2, there is another entry point, right? Okay, next. And go back to the last slides. Right. Okay, like I said, I hope that I provide certain insights into your possible query regarding AAP. But if there is any more questions besides visiting our website, which you can scan this QR code, right? You can also email us at njc_ap@moe.edu.sg, right? Or you can even follow us on our Instagram, right, to get certain sneak preview about what our program is about, right, which is also njc_ap. Right, with that, thank you so much. All right, I'll pass you back to Mr. Tan.
Okay, good afternoon, parents. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what the NJC music program is about. I'm Mr. Aaron Lam. I'm one of the music teachers that will be doing the briefing. I will take you through what the music program is about, and then we'll share with you some of the admin details regarding the music selection test later as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so for the music program, it is an academic program. It is made up of 4 components in which students will study them together and not in silos. And we believe that all 4 components work together to help them become creative and thinking musicians. So I'll brief you on the different components very quickly. And so just to have an idea of what the students actually do in these components. Next slide, please. So for music and history and analysis, basically what students will encounter is that they will really look at what music is from a history standpoint. They will look at social, cultural influences that has made music what it is today. And of course, music is not just about performing. We also believe that history and analysis plays a big part in how someone performs. So it is a very important part of what a music student should study as well. So we have this first component, which is music history and analysis. Next slide. And in addition to that, they will also do music writing and composition, and they will do it in a variety of styles. So as you can see there, they will do classical, electronic, and arrangement. So classical, very briefly, is that they will just be doing sort of like imitating the different styles, like for example, from Bach, from Mozart, to even Schubert, and imitating their styles in their writing. Electronic, so they will use things like GarageBand to compose music, or basically, with technology improving, these are some of the things that have come about in the recent years as well. And finally, arrangements. This is quite a new thing, but basically what they would do for arrangements is that, for example, if I want to take a pop song and to sort of like arrange it into a rock style, how can I do it? What are some of the elements of rock and things like that? So it's actually quite interesting in terms of what they can do in the possibilities for arrangements as well. Next slide, please. For performances, they will definitely have opportunities to perform. We have an annual concert called Zype Music as well for them to perform. Of course, with all these SMMs, we will also try our best to give them opportunities to perform. We also have lunchtime concerts in which they will also perform for their peers and for the teachers. We also hold master classes where we invite professionals to come in to also guide them on certain playing techniques. And really all these seek to also help them to hone their skills as a student in terms of performance. Next slide. And finally, we have a module or component of music which is called musicianship. Basically, these are foundational skills in which we believe that these are also very important to and something that is very holistic for them. So things like they will encounter things like listening, singing, reading, rhythms, ensembleship skills. And we also have a professional conductor who also comes in to help give them some skills on basic conducting. And we have this program called sound painting, which is quite a unique program to our school as well, in which they will definitely find out more if they come for the program. Okay, next slide. So I'll just brief you on the music program structure and the different entry points in which your child can sort of enter the music program as well. Next. Okay, so it is also a 6-year program. At JH1, if you are a DSA student, it is a 4-year commitment to JH4. Okay, but if you're not a DSA student and you're interested in applying for the music program, if you do get into the music program, it is a 2-year commitment from JH1 to 2. And then thereafter at JH3, you can reassess if you feel that you want to continue with the music program. And thereafter, if you say yes, it is also a 2-year commitment. And then when you get to SH1, that is also where you can reassess whether you want to take up music as a subject for A levels. Of course, there are different criteria. So if I bring you back to JH1 again, you need to pass the selection test at the start of JH1. And at JH3 level, to be able to get into the program, you should receive a recommendation from the GAP teachers. GAP is the General Aesthetics program. Basically, it's like a general music program that all students will go through at JH1 and JH2 level, and also pass a selection test at the end of JH2. So they need to get a recommendation and pass the test to be able to get into JH3 music program. And of course, for SH1, generally we recommend that students get overall B in JH4 for music to take up H2 music at the A levels as well. Okay, next slide, please. So there are also other enrichment activities which our students go through. So we have things like hands-on world music workshops. World music is something that is also important to be able to appreciate other music from other cultures. So because we do not have the instruments, we go to other places to learn how to play the instruments and to listen to these instruments as well. Next slide. We also have workshops like recording technology, where students will learn how to set up a recording, or students will learn how to set up an audio recording setup, and then of course be able to learn how to record their own pieces that they have composed or that they want to play. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so finally, in terms of admin wise, if you are interested in the music program, these are the application requirements and procedure. Next slide. Okay, so there are 2 steps to applying for music program at the JH1 level. So for the first step, you will need to submit a video submission by the 28th of December at by 10 p.m. And then step 2, there will be a written test on 28th December itself as well at 11 a.m. in school, as it's been mentioned as well. So registration begins at 10:45. So for the video submission, this is what you would need to submit. Next slide. So the performance requirements are these. So it should be a live video recording, and it should be a complete performance of 2 stylistically contrasting pieces on the primary instrument. So what does that mean? So stylistically contrasting pieces would mean something like if I were to choose a Baroque piece, and then I were to choose a next piece, maybe a 20th century piece to play on my instrument. So they should be from about 3 to 10 minutes in total. The video should be one continuous take. It should not be edited, and also professionally produced videos are not permitted. And they should also show the upper half of your child's body, including the face, the instrument, and the hands on the instrument clearly, so that we can also assess the technique as well. Okay, next slide. One important thing to ensure is that that there's no time or latency lag in the video of the audio to the video. Video entries that do not meet requirements will not get another request for another submission and will automatically be forfeited. So my recommendation would be to really check your video such that there's no lag as well. Next slide. So finally, the deadline for submission, as mentioned, is on Tuesday, 28th December by 10 p.m. Do note that late submissions will not be accepted and your application will be forfeited. The email to submit the video is as such, njcmusicprogramauditions@gmail.com. Would like to also highlight that you should be submitting a URL link or a Google Drive link, and please do not attach the video file to the email, because sometimes the video might be too big and you might not be able to attach it as well. And one last thing to ensure also is that permission rights have been granted to the recipients of the email, so that we can access the email, and that we do not need to disturb you when when we have to ask or to request permission for that. Okay. Next slide. Written test as well. So this is the step 2 for entry into JH1 music program. So the components wise, there is theory, oral, personal response questions. So minimally, you should have an understanding of grade 3 in both theory and practical. Of course, certification is not required to be able to understand the questions. It will be conducted in school, face-to-face, on 28th December, Tuesday at 11 a.m. It will approximately take about 1.5 hours. So as mentioned, please report by 10:45 at the school atrium, and the teacher in charge will bring you to the venue itself. For what to bring, you will need to bring writing materials. Next slide. Okay, so these are just some common questions that have been asked, and I will just quickly address them. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so if I join the music program, do I need to join a music CCA? No, you don't. We definitely believe that if you have interest or talent in other, for example, sports CCAs or clubs and societies, please go ahead and join them. And for us and in school, we have a good mix of people who are music CCAs and non-music CCAs as well. Okay, next question. Next slide. So what is the general standard required for entry? I think I also mentioned that if you would like to join the program, you should have at least a grade 3 theory understanding. As mentioned, certification is not required, so that you basically can understand what the paper or the questions are asking for. Similarly, for playing standard-wise, it should be around a grade 3 exam standard too. Okay, next slide. My child has performed worldwide but doesn't like theory. Can my child join the program and just focus on performance then? So as I mentioned before in the beginning of my briefing, we believe that it's a holistic program and just performing alone is not enough. We believe that all the other components really make up a creative and thinking musician as well. So with regards to our entry requirements, it's not just about performing. Also, we have this written test to really assess your child holistically as well. Okay, next slide. If my child does not sign up for this program, does this mean that he will not be able to have any music education in NJC? So as I've mentioned also that we have different entry points. So that's one way you can consider if let's say you do not get into the program in JH1. And of course, for secondary 1 and 2 students, we have this general aesthetics program where everybody will be also learning about music, and it's really a chance for them to be exposed to music as well. So not to worry, your child will definitely have some form of music education in NJC up to secondary 2. Next slide. So how is the NJC music program different from the music elective program offered in other schools? So as you have probably also known that there are other schools which also offer music O-levels. For our school, your child will not be taking the O-levels as our program is a 6-year program. So it really prepares your child for the A-levels as well. So that actually means that we do have more time to sort of like give our students more exposure to different forms of music. And of course, to also, as I mentioned, also to lead up to the A levels should your child decide to pursue it as well. So essentially, our program, I think what is unique to our program is that we definitely have a little bit more time to explore more genres, more composition techniques, or even performances, and sort of like there's more time for that, and there's more opportunities for that as well. Okay, next slide. So if you have any other questions that were not answered, you can email Ms. Gail Sim, who is also another music teacher, at this email address. And if you want to take it down, please do. Okay, next slide. Okay, and finally, this is just a Google. This is a QR code that will lead you to a form to indicate your interest if you would like to try out for the music program selection test. Do note that the deadline, sorry, it's not written there. If you want to note it down, it is on 24th December by 2359. Okay, so this is to give us some time to also prepare for how many would like to come for the test as well. So do scan the QR code if you're interested to try out for the music program. So I have one question from a parent. With regards to if you are a DSA student, do you need to come for the music program selection test? The answer is no, you do not need to come because you've already been selected as a DSA student. Okay, so this is the end of my briefing. I'll pass the time to Mr. Yo or Mr. Tan.
Okay, similarly, I'm back, all right, to answer some questions that some of you all have for AAP, all right. Actually, in regards to my sharing earlier, right, your child will be briefed on the AP program in the term 1, week 2 during the art lesson. So in terms of applying for AAP, right, there's no strict application for it, but they may express their interest right, to their art teacher, right? And is there any prerequisite for AAP? All right. I'm not sure what you mean by prerequisite. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key thing is we want to identify interest, all right, and then help to develop into a passion, right? So it's not a matter of my child need to have art experiences before, need to have art enrichment classes, right, before we would consider. In regards to that, right, in terms of portfolio, the artwork could be any artwork they have done during their free time. So it's not necessarily an artwork that they have done, all right, in a formal setting in terms of art enrichment classes. It can be an artwork they have done in their primary school art lesson as well, all right. But like I mentioned, all right, the portfolio is not a prerequisite, all right. We are identifying a potential, right, during the cohort-wide test, okay. And some parents might also have this question: what if my child does not have the interest but is identified, right, to take AAP? All right, no issue. All right, you all will be informed that your child has been selected for the trial lesson throughout term 1, and if you're okay with allowing them to attend the trial lesson, you still have the whole of term 1, all right, for them to make this decision, right, before you sign the letter of undertaking for this 4-year program. And then lastly, all right, AAP is not it's not a CCA, it's an actual curriculum subject, right, that is offered to specific students that will benefit from this program, right. I hope I've answered most, if not all, of your questions. If there is any more, all right, again, please feel free to email to us and we will take it from there. If not, your child can always check in with us during the art lesson. Thank you so much.
Hello, I have 2 questions from some parents. So I think the first question is, are we allowed to send a recording of solo singing? Yes, you are definitely allowed to send a recording of solo singing. But of course, I would just want to recommend that you should be able to showcase a good range of singing. So if possible, also have accompaniment. But not to worry, we will also assess you holistically as well. Secondly, what if I don't have any theory records? My recommendation will also be just to try for the music program, the music selection test. And as mentioned, so we will also consider it holistically as well. Okay, so I would really recommend that you try and see where your child gets to. Okay, I have one last question as well. If my child already achieved distinction for ABRSM grade 5 music theory and also passed the grade 5 singing performance, do they still need to go for this music selection test? Answer is yes also, so that we also know where your child is at, and also, as mentioned, also to really assess your child holistically as well, because it's not, the music test is not just about theory and performance. There are also personal response questions to see, to assess your child as well. Okay. Yes, I think that's it for me in terms of the questions. Yeah.
Okay, dear parents, once again, thank you for your time today. Okay, we'll see you on the 10th January. Please enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance from all of us. Thank you.